Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm doing an update on my alcohol withdrawal that I experienced 2 years and 7 months ago. 2 years and 7 months ago, I ended up in the hospital for 3 weeks, in ICU for 8 days for alcohol withdrawal and chronic pancreatitis. I have not had one drink in 2 years and 7 months. After everything that I went through, when I first got out of the hospital, I couldn't walk. I could barely walk. Major food diet. I couldn't really talk very well. I certainly couldn't shower on my own. And my hair was a rat's nest. That took my husband forever to get out. I almost told him to shave my whole damn head. I had lost a tremendous amount of weight and my strength. I lost a lot of my strength and my muscle. Once I got back into the gym and started training again, I started building muscle again, and my weight started coming back up to a healthy weight that I'm very happy and comfortable with. My husband always said, you know, if we just quit drinking, we could probably drop a little bit of our chub around the middle, and I wasn't willing to give it up. I didn't want to quit drinking because I never really thought alcohol was contributing to extra weight gain, and I don't even know if it's extra. I mean, seriously, that alcohol puts on the weight, it puts on the pounds. No longer drinking, healthy eating, which of course is not always healthy. Yeah, I have ice cream, and yeah, I'll have a pizza once in a while. I mean, come on, you got to give yourself a little bit of that. And then working out, that's my life. And then not only do I feel healthy and look healthy, but my mind is healthy. I was told by my doctors that I would have chronic pancreatitis for the remainder of my life. Because I'm not drinking, no alcohol, a good clean diet, getting back in the gym, working out, I have not had any problems at all with my pancreas at all. And no medications, no pain meds. All I take, if I do end up getting a little bit of pain, which is very, very rare, I'll take ibuprofen, and that's all I take. But that was quite the experience, let me tell you. I was in and out of the hospital 5 times. Okay, in and out of the hospital 5 times after that. Ended up having my gallbladder removed. And the one thing that really pissed me off through that whole experience was every time I went back into the hospital, they figured I was drinking again. That's why I was back in the hospital, because of the pain I was experiencing for my pancreas. The only way I'm getting this pain is probably because I was drinking again. I had had enough of that shit. I mean, seriously, I'd had enough, and I finally told my husband, I'm done. I'm going to figure this out. No pains, no pain medications. I literally done with the hospitals, done with the doctors. The point of this video, though, was the update, but also I kind of want to talk about societal pressures and triggers that happened for me, and because I can't speak for anybody else, because I'm sure we all have them. A lot of those are the reasons why a lot of us do drink, right? Is because of the pressures in life. I was dealing with a lot of drama with my neighbors, and I'm going to cut right to it. I'm just going to tell you straight up, if you want to know the story, you want to hear the story, I've written a book about it because it was that fucked up. I Will Never Know. Maria Rodi is my author name, and if you want to read the story, it's about cats, so prepare for that. It is, our true life experience was amazing, honestly, that I got through this without one drink, and I cannot even begin to tell you how many times I wanted to drink. We live in a 55 plus community, which means it's a senior living. It's 55 plus, although they do have an 80-20, which means that 20% of the residents can be at the age of 45, but not younger than that. So when the neighbors moved in, and that was always my biggest bitch, was when the neighbors did move in, it was the mother and her son. The son at that point was 35 years old. When I questioned that whole thing, we were told basically that he is his mother's caretaker, so therefore he's allowed to live there. He doesn't have to be certified caretaker. He doesn't have to know shit about being a caretaker as long as his family, then I guess he's going to be her caretaker. which we knew was all bullshit. But the park let him in, and so here he is, all this time still been living there. Well, turns out, I don't know how long it's been now, but the mother ends up moving out of the home. So I'm told by park management that the mother is no longer living there, but the kid is still there now at the age of 37. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's still living there. I mean, he's not even of age to be living there. If the mother's gone, then he has no business still being there. Well, apparently, because they never can tell me anything, he is allowed to live there now because he's mentally disabled. I want you to chew on that for just a little bit. So now we're claiming mental disability, so they're going to allow him to live in their little shithole over here. So apparently, it's perfectly legal now that he can live in this trailer without his mother because he's mentally disabled. And I'm just thinking, okay, all right, so here we got a mentally disabled caretaker for his obese mother that no longer lives there, that is allowed to live there. I guess anything goes in this park, and as you read in my book, you'll find out that pretty much anything. Oh, and on top of that, he's a convicted felon who approached me with a gun one day. Yeah, and nobody did anything about that. So, yeah, I've had my reasons for wanting to tip a few back and to just try to escape it. Another big issue for me personally is death. I've experienced quite a few deaths in the past 2 years, and that is huge. The failing health of my parents. My dad's 86, my mom is 85. My mom recently had a heart attack, and then on top of that, she fell in the garage and hit her head really bad and had a brain bleed. My father has dementia. Went back to Michigan for a little bit to help out the best I could, and man, I can't tell you just all the tears, and I'm not ready. I'm not ready to lose my parents. I'm not. And of course, Kalamazoo is my stomping ground, so it's just run away to the bar and have a couple drinks and just put it all behind me. Be really good, but it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Death in general, and also a good friend committed suicide a few months ago. She took her own life. That was really, I don't know with my wording on that one. It's she was younger, only 34 years old. She was like a daughter to me. I never had kids, so Deani truly was like a daughter to me. She was very much my personality, and I loved her dearly. But I understood. Lost my neighbor Vince. Vince was 78 years old, and he was at a point in life where he just wanted to die. And was at his bedside, not actually when he died, but was with him pretty much to the end. And and I remember him telling me, he said, Shelley, he goes, I just don't want to live anymore. I don't have any desire to live. There's nothing that I enjoy in life anymore. And the only thing left that he said he did enjoy was smoking. Okay, on his dying bed, he wanted to get up and have a cigarette so bad before he died. That was the last thing he wanted. Man, that... Whew. You're probably asking, like, what am I dealing with as far as societal pressures? What could I possibly be dealing with? I really have to say that I am out and about. I do a lot of stuff, but it has to just be the stupidity of people. I have no patience anymore for it. No patience whatsoever for it. And whenever I get worked up about stuff, the first thing I want to do is go have a fucking drink. Because that's the best thing, right? Just drink and then try to find humor in it, because there's no humor in it. There's no humor in it. And drinking isn't the answer. Absolutely not the answer. But I can't really deal with people anymore. And it consumes your world. And if it's consuming your world, if it's ruining your relationships, because trust me, it almost ruined mine with Mike, you need to take a hard look at yourself and ask yourself, what's of value to you? Is it that drink? Because it's truly not worth it. Because from my own experience, and the reason I haven't drank, and I'll never drink again, I'd say the pain is a really good example, because that pain was unreal. I've never in my life experienced pain like that, and I've been through a few things, and that was just untouchable. But the biggest thing for me is my level of consciousness, my awareness, and my presence. I can't go through this life anymore having no awareness to my surroundings. No more. Everything. I don't know people. People are so fake. They tell you one thing, they do another. I don't know when that knife is going to go in my back. I choose to walk this walk aware and conscious, and you don't even have a clue what that alcohol is doing to your brain, because if you think about it, when they put me in that coma, induced coma, they actually had to put a drug into me that made my brain think it was drinking, slowly to wean me off the alcohol. It's all right here. It's all in your brain. Although I did have bloat face. I had that alcohol bloat face, which was pretty wild too. I never even knew it. I mean, looking at myself in photos after all this happened, and my girlfriend said, "Oh yeah, that's booze bloat." I never even heard of booze bloat before, but wow, right? That was pretty obvious. When I was in my 20s and 30s, it would be rejection from boys, or not getting the job, or not getting accepted or liked. I'm way past that shit in my life, so I don't give a shit if you like me or not. What I notice now more so, I think, what I struggle with is humanity, behavior of humanity. And of course, not all. But honestly, I've seen more of the negative than the positive. I see more of people me, and they don't have any consideration for anybody. I mean, as simple as walking through a door and it's slamming right in my face because they have no fucking awareness I'm right behind them. And how many times has that happened? That simple thing. A simple thing is going to the grocery store and taking your cart out and leaving it up against somebody's car and not returning it. I mean, these are simple things, but it just, I feel like the mentality is so fucked up with people in general, right? Yeah. When I was younger, drinking was major. I mean, it was just partying, social, fun, party. And as you get older, I started drinking more to escape my reality, horrible relationships, bad experiences, whatever. I mean, I would drink to escape it. But I always woke up to it. I always woke up, and I always had to deal with it. You have to deal with it. It's not going anywhere until you do deal with it. Drinking prolongs it. And my pain body, really, when I would drink, I wasn't an angry drunk when I was younger. But as I got older, I became an angry drunk. And I was always self-righteous, and I would always blame everybody else, and I would never take responsibility. Drinking kept me away from that. Being clear-headed, clear-thinking, and you just own it. Take responsibility for your life, period. Take responsibility. You know what's kind of fun, though? Is in my dreams. I'm still drinking. When I dream, I'll wake up and I'll say, "Hey, I had a drink in my dream." But it's even weirder is when I'm dreaming and I'm drinking, I always feel like I shouldn't be doing this. And there's also that 2 years and 7 months sober, the thought of having a drink now, I would feel like shit. I would really feel so guilty if I broke it at this point. I couldn't do it. But you live your life. You live it however you choose to live it. I just wanted to give you an update where I'm at 2 years and 7 months later, and I feel pretty damn good. And I'm getting all motivated to get my YouTube channel up to 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully that happens. But hey, don't worry if it doesn't. I'm not going to start drinking again. I am clear and I'm conscious, and that's how I want to live. So stay strong. I know you guys can do it. You can do it, because it's life-changing, really. It's totally life-changing. So good luck, and please comment. I'd be happy to respond.